Get up, you son of a bitch! Cause Pawn's drunk loves you.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. Thursday, happy hour Thursday. Happy hour Thursday. Punch on boxing in the building. Let's go, let's go. Smash that like button. Boxing is alive and well. Let's go.
Let me tell you what I need.
What? Oh. Let's go. Punch run.
With all my might. You know how I'm doing. I don't even need no music. No doors, dress. No music. No music. No music.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's get ready to rumble.
You already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho, a.k.a. Café Bustelo, a.k.a. El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at this side of heaven. God bless you all. Ladies and gentlemen, boxing is alive and well 2026. Boxing is alive and well 2026. Oh, yeah. We're going to see an upset in the 154-pound division once again. We're going to see an upset in the 154-pound division once again. And if you're familiar with the channel, I've been trying to tell y'all for years that 154-pound division is the most stacked division in the sport of boxing. Anybody can get it. It's a landmine division. The top 10, if you're the number 1, find the number 10. If you're the number 2, find the number 9. If you're the number 3, find the number 8. If you're the number 4, find the number 7. Hey, yo, anything can happen. We seen it in the sport of boxing, but we see it in a 154-pound division. Is the landmine division. Is the most dangerous division, the most unpredictable division in the sport of boxing. We seen the best of the best do their thing. We seen the best of the best struggle at 154. Let's not forget that a lot of people talking about the best that America has to offer. You know what I'm saying? That just retired. Terrence Bud Crawford moved up to the 154-pound division after scraping 135, scraping 140, scraping 147. But when he stepped up to the 154-pound division, oh yeah, he looked the ordinary versus Madrimov. He looked at ordinary versus Madrimov. He even went up there to the 168-pound division and faced Canelo Alvarez, the former 4th division world champion, super middleweight undisputed. He scraped Canelo Alvarez. But at 154, there was a little obstacle course right there. At 154, we seen Canelo Alvarez with Lara. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, there's a lot of people out there that feel like Lara beat Canelo Alvarez. That was at 154. Demise Andre got dropped in 154. Jamel Charlo got beaten in 154, but still became the king at 154. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, there ain't no cakewalk at 154-pound division. We seen Tony Harrison, we seen Tim Tszyu struggle and have his great days and bad days. When we seen Vergil Ortiz move up, fighting a ranked fighter at 154 versus Boachuk, there's people thought that, damn, Vergil Ortiz probably lost that fight. You feel me? Everybody showed their vulnerability at 154. That's why I got to give a lot of credit to Iron Man Jamel Charlo. Being undisputed in this division is tough. Let's not forget even the Brian Castano versus Lara. Tough. I thought that Brian Castano beat Lara. You feel me? That was tough. I told y'all leading up to the fight for the first fight, I said, yo, Brian Castano ain't no cakewalk. And people say, no, Jamel Charlo going to scrape him. I was going for Jamel Charlo. You know what I'm saying? But I said it was not going to be easy. If Jamel Charlo doesn't throw no punches and up his volume punching, he's going to have a field day. Not a field day. He's going to have a tough day in the office out there in San Antonio. You feel me? But in the second fight, he overcame. We see, look at J-Rock. Look at Jason Rosario. Upset J-Rock. You feel me? Hey, yo, Josh Kelly versus Bakram. Josh Kelly versus Bakram. A lot of mother effers out here, excuse my language, damn, this is a Christian show. A lot of people had Bakram beating Josh Kelly. I was one of the very, very few that said that Josh Kelly's going to outbox him, that Josh Kelly's going to beat him, that Josh Kelly's going to be a champion. I told y'all he became a champion. He beat the boogeyman at 154. Nobody wanted to face Bakram. Boots wasn't calling Bakram. Xander Zayas ain't won Bakram. Vergil Ortiz ain't even won Bakram. And ladies and gentlemen, Josh Kelly prevailed. I'm telling y'all, it is an upset waiting to happen. Majumov could have upset Terrence Bud Crawford. Is an upset waiting to happen. And we got Keith one-time Thurman, the former unified welterweight champion of the world. And his only blemish is losing to arguably the GOAT, the 8th division world champion, 5-time lineal, 12-time world champion, the ambassador, the senator, the humanitarian, the greatest karaoke singer of them all, the GOAT, Manny Pacquiao. That's the only blemish. That's the only blemish. We seen Fundora struggle. Let's not forget that Fundora got laid out by Brian Mendoza, and Tim Tszyu beat Brian Mendoza. Hey, yo, folks, I'm telling y'all, for those that's what Punch is talking about, man. Man, Fundora's gonna beat Thurman. Thurman haven't been in the ring. Man, Thurman been inactive. Man, Thurman ain't the same. Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, Thurman got the footwork. Thurman got the punching power. Thurman got the IQ. Thurman doesn't have wear and tear, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't have wear and tear. He don't go out there in the club. He's a family man. He don't be drinking again, drunk and stuff like that. And you see him with a beer belly. No. Keith one-time Thurman is ready to be back where he belongs. Shout out to Clearwater, Florida. Shout out to Ben, to his former trainer, Ben Getty. Rest in peace, Ben Getty. What's up, Ben Getty Jr.? What's good, everybody? I'm telling you, folks, upset awaits March 28th. Thurman versus Fundora, the towering inferno. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, folks. I'm telling you. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised in anything at 154. And speaking about 154, we're going to be talking about Keith one-time Thurman. We're going to be talking about the X's and O's and how Sebastian Fundora could be Keith one-time Thurman, and what Keith one-time Thurman need to do to be Sebastian Fundora. Because let me tell you like this, to prepare for Fundora, there's no preparation for Fundora. Forget about all that. There is no preparation for Fundora. The preparation for Fundora is fight night, because you cannot just get a sparring partner that is 6'6", 6'7", at 154 pound division. You know what I'm saying? You got to get an NBA player. I think that Keith one-time Thurman got Kevin Durant to Channel Chosinko. Somebody told somebody, you know what I'm saying? He probably got somebody. He probably say, yo, Anthony Joshua, let's help me spar. He should have got Keith. I think he should have got his boy Boo Boo Andre help him out sparring right there. You know what I'm saying? And Boo Boo is 6 feet. They boy, but damn, this guy's 6'6". How could you prepare for that? That's like in the heavyweight division. How can you prepare for a Fury? But it takes this. It takes footwork and this, and combination punches and intellect to beat a Fundora. And let me tell you like this. As much as Fundora is an enigma, I think he's gotten better in this, but I don't think he got this better than Thurman. I don't know. I don't think so. There's one issue that I have with Sebastian Fundora, but we're going to be talking about it because there's a lot of good about Fundora, and you know what I'm saying? Fundora's strength is the gift and the curse. Put it that way. We're going to be talking about it, but again, but other stories in the 154-pound division, we got Vergil Ortiz, Jerome Boots Ennis going back and forth. Jerome Boots Ennis finally, you know what I'm saying, tweeting about the issues and why this fight has not come through fruition. Him and Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz rolled back. Let's talk about it right quick, and then we move back to Keith one-time Thurman and Fundora. But we talking about the best division, my favorite division in the sport of boxing. So smash that like button. Smash that like. Smash that like. Smash that like. So Boots, Vergil, going at it. So let's read on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's read on. So Boots Ennis tweeted, I did everything in my power to make this fight happen for the fans. I waited long enough, and I stayed quiet through it all. It looks like Vergil or his team really didn't want to fight. I came to his fight in his hometown and told him he was next. That was November. It's March and still nothing. It's time to move on. 2 division champion up next. I told y'all the truth was going to come to light. We gonna time it on that. Vergil Ortiz responded to Boots' tweet and said, since nobody is smart enough to know how to read between the lines and see we actually try to make the fight happen, despite all the ongoing legal issues, I'll spell it out for you and everybody else. A lot of y'all missed out on critical thinking time in school. He did everything in his favor to make the fight happen, except, the one and only time we were both offered to fight each other is in Saudi Arabia. Y'all can't cope. I think he mean cap. Y'all can cap all y'all want. Doesn't change the past. Vergil Ortiz manager also chimed in. You serious, Boots? You did everything you could. You waited while we tried because your alternative is a 7 figures left. You turned the fight down twice, and you watch Ortiz sue to try and fight you now again and do everything he could. Really? He spent more than you made last in your fight to try to fight you a 3rd time. Even now, still, you're going to act delusional. Ortiz didn't turn the fight down, but we know who did, and so do you. Go grab a scrap or 2. Will be that much sweeter after for Ortiz. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's hear what the man that offered Jerome Boots Ennis the fight to fight Vergil Ortiz. Let's hear it from the man himself, because if anyone is capping in this situation, if anyone is capping between Jerome Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz, and I like Boots, y'all already know I was the first channel in the YTBC that was promoting and showing love to Jerome Boots Ennis. I told y'all he was going to be the second coming of Rojo Jr. My archives speak for itself. Boots know. I've been talking about Boots since day one in this community. I think I was the first one to even interview with him in YouTube, right? I appreciate Vergil. I'm a fan of Vergil Ortiz as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of Vergil Ortiz, his dad, and everybody. I know the things with him and Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy promotion, I don't like. I like Oscar De La Hoya as a champion, as a promoter. I like Vergil Ortiz as a fighter. I like the trainers, like Robert Garcia. I like his manager. I like everybody on that side. It's unfortunate that whatever's going through. But at the end of the day, if anybody is capping about ducking, is Jerome Boots Ennis. Boots. I like Boots, but stop the cap. Boots, I like Boots. Stop, Boots. Stop it. Because you did not want to fight Vergil. And he wanted to become a unified champion in the welterweight division, but we all know. See, this is when the boxing world does contradict itself and we be hypocritical sometimes. And look, I'm not saying that I'm all the way right. You know what I'm saying? But I know that the boxing world rather see a Vergil Ortiz, a non-title bout, of Vergil versus Boots, than a unification bout with Boots and Stanionis. Let's be real, let's be honest. Ain't nobody, we rather see that. So Boots can actually be like, hey, yo, but this is my legacy, this is my career. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't be throwing me mixed signals. Y'all want people to dare to be great. I mean, I see y'all dissing Javante Tan Davis that he don't go for the belts, and I'm going for the belts. But y'all want to fight Vergil Ortiz, but Vergil Ortiz not for the belts. I don't understand what you're trying. I don't understand. I mean, does Vergil Ortiz got a championship belt? I mean, he ain't go for the belt and stuff like that. He ain't go after Bakram and stuff like that. So what the fuck y'all telling me? You know, there is a lot of mixed signals we do send to fighters. I mean, everybody got to take accountability. Matter of fact, sometimes the boxing world, the fans, we be capping. Because we're the same people that be like, you know what? The best fight in 154-pound division, the number one fight at 154 is Boots and Vergil, but that's a non-title fight. Why nobody talking about the number one fight in the 154-pound division is the unification bout between Xander Zayas, El Boricua, Puerto Rican Prince versus the Josh Kelly, pretty boy Josh Kelly. 3-belt unification. That's the most important and legacy fight at 154 right now. That's the most important fight at 154 right now. But the fight that the people want to see, that is, we're anticipating to be the more entertaining fight, the most credible fight, because people feel that they are the more credible fighters. You know what I'm saying? That's what people feel. I don't feel like that. I feel like everybody is really on the same level. Some are champions. I believe all these guys got things to prove, especially in this stacked division. Fundora going to be facing Thurman. He still got something to prove. You feel me? The only thing he did was actually truly beat Tim Tszyu. But Tim Tszyu got annihilated by Bakram, and Josh Kelly beat Bakram. And you know what I'm saying? Hey yo, anybody can get it. Ain't nobody separating themselves. Not yet, but they're doing great things. Right? But if anybody is capping about ducking, it's Boots. When it comes to Vergil, you capping. No. You ain't want to fight Boots. I'm sorry, Vergil. Boots ain't want to fight Vergil. I'm not saying that Boots is afraid of Vergil. I don't think Vergil is afraid of Boots. I don't think that nobody's really afraid of nobody. You know what I'm saying? But Boots, in this, you avoid it, duck, however you want to, if you want to simplify it, if you want to be nice, he avoided him to become the unified champion or whatever. At the end of the day, there was money on the table, good money on the table. Eddie Hearn said there was good money on the table. And I think that everybody would have liked that fight better anyway. You know what I'm saying? And let's hear it from the man himself. Let's hear from the man himself when he had the interview with the boxing voice. Hold on. Let me see if I could get that clip.
We be, and he doing business. He asked to go to 154 and have tune-up fight first. I am not charity. Go do it with Eddie, the tune-up fight. And if you're ready, you will have in my side a lot of people waiting for you. You understand me?
Hey, the man spoke. Turki Al-Sheikh, the aka ATM, aka Aladdin, aka the man with the flying carpet. He gave Jerome Boost Ennis that moolah, that deal, that offer to face Vergil Ortiz. Huh? I'd give you the deal. I'd give you the money. I'd give you offer. And you want to tune up? Get the hell out of here. Go to use Eddie Hearn somebody. Do not use me. I would not pay for nothing but Vergil and Boots. Get the fuck out of my face, all right? Go to Eddie, all right? Go to fight Limas, Lemonade, whatever his name. You would not use me, okay? No more taking advantage of the Turk. No more. Hey, yo, that's why I think that Turkey is already annoyed about these fighters. I think Turkey, if you notice, Turkey is really annoyed. He's annoyed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. He's not. Why Turkey's not pulling? He's not throwing money for the Boots and Vergil. I did it once and I did it twice. I don't want it. That's it. You're wasting my time. You remember when he's like, when Turki Al-Sheikh saying that Boots ain't even answer the email? So I think that Turki Al-Sheikh just had it with Boots. You declined my offer not one but twice, all right? Do you know how lucky you are to get offer from me? Do you? To get the fuck? Go deal with Daddy. Deal with him, not me. Deal with him, not me. All right? Remember, even Turkey wanted Boost to face Tio. Remember, it was supposed to be the tournament, right? If Tio beats Bar, remember, it wasn't supposed to be no Shakur. It wasn't supposed to be Devin Haney. It was supposed to be Tio versus Boots. It was supposed to be Devin after Ramirez versus Ryan, and then Ryan if he beats Rolly, he fights Devin. That was what Turki Al-Sheikh wanted. I tried everything with Boots. He don't want me. He don't want to do business with me. Why not? So nah, man. I don't know who's tweeting that for Boots. Boots can't be like that. And it's true. I think he is using. Let me see. Let me see what Vergil said. Give me a sec. Let me see what Vergil said. This is what Vergil said. Give me a second. This is what Vergil said. Let me put this one too. This is what Vergil said on his IG. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let's post this up. What Vergil Ortiz posted right now on his IG. Smash that like button, my beautiful people. Smash that like. Happy Hour Thursday. You already know. Happy Hour Thursday. You already know. Vergil Ortiz posted, everyone knows good and well I'm in legal battles right now, and everyone with a brain knows even though we are going through this legal battle that we still try to make the fight happen. Using the situation as an excuse to say someone doesn't want to fight is not only idiotic, but it's cowardly as F. Everyone will see one day when the fight happens. I can't wait to shut every single one of you up. Shout out to High Low. High Low. Dímelo con los 2 pesos de plátano. If it's moonshine, gotta be great. Better than Frosted Flakes. Oh, yeah. Good looking now. Que Dios te bendiga, mi hermano. Folks, let's be real. Let's be real. Boots was the one to duck Vergil.
You can't handle the truth.
The one to duck Vergil.
You can't handle
that Boots, that if you're saying that Vergil was ducking Boots,
you's a liar.
we all know that Vergil's not ducking Boots. I like both fighters, but I do agree with Vergil that he's trying to use this situation and hook wink the fans. Because let me say it like this: not everybody pays attention to the ins and outs of the sport of boxing. Not everybody just follow each and every story, each and every tweet, each and every live. So shout out to all the boxing content creators, independent media. So you know what I'm saying? We work 24/7 trying to get every information from fighters, manager, advisors, promoters, anything, right? Journalists, whatever, anybody that got exclusive, anybody that got their sources and shit like that. Because I'm gonna say it like this, like I said 1,000 times. Hey, yo, being a boxing content creator, we're the most creative of all sports because we have to create boxing content every day when fighters only fight 1 time a year, 2 times a year. If they're not active on social media, we hunt for information, bro. We hunt. We are the biggest hunters when it comes to content creation out of the sports world. We will make a video or a live based on a post on IG, based on a story post. You know what I'm saying? Like, like right now I saw a story. I'm like, damn, let me see. All right. Errol Spence, damn, he posted something. All right. It looked like he's on vacation. Damn, Vergil's in shape on vacation. Damn, he's ready to go. Who does he want to fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo. It's tough being a boxing content creator, bro. It's very, very tough. I wish there was like YouTube back in the days or something like that, or I wish that back in the days was like today, where we got Mike Tyson fighting 12 times in the same year he became a heavyweight champion. Mike Tyson fighting 12 times in the same year he became a world champion. Just think about it. If we had Mike Tyson a day fighting 12 times, every single month we're talking about Mike Tyson fights or leading up to the fight. Wow. It's just sad, man. I don't know how the business of boxing haven't figured this shit out, that it has really deteriorated our sport. Like, and look, and I was listening to Mike Tyson in one of the interviews, and he was talking about that. You know, like nobody knows these fighters. And it's true. A lot of people don't know these fighters. I seen these guys, like I'm in the city of the world. I'm from New York City, bro. I'm in the city I'm in the city. Yo, if you in Midtown, yo, let me say it like this. You put 90% of the boxers in the middle of Times Square, bro. Nobody know who they are. Nobody will know who they are. Nobody will know who they are, bro. They'll just walk through them. Matter of fact, they'll probably give some change, thinking that they're homeless or something. I'm being honest, bro. You put 90+% of the boxers in the middle of Times Square. Nobody know who they are. I'm talking about I'm talking about champions, bro. I'm talking about champions. I've walked with T.O. in the street. Like, he'll get his what's up, but ain't nobody like jumping on, oh, T.O. Nah, man. I've seen Devin Haney walk in the 34th Street with security. Ain't nobody stopping Devin. You know what I'm saying? The only person I've seen Anthony Joshua in Bowery Street. Anthony Joshua in Bowery Street. Nobody walked up to Anthony Joshua. Nobody really walked up. Anthony Joshua was in West 4. A lot of people wasn't going to it. It wasn't going to Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen champions, bro, and nobody really knows who these people are, really. The only time I really see like people trying to go into somebody's van, chasing them, is Ryan Garcia in Times Square. Ryan Garcia, where young people knew who Ryan Garcia is. I've seen even Tank Davis when he stepped out. Ryan Garcia had way more fans. Like, people noticed Ryan Garcia more than Gervonta Tank Davis. I remember in Times Square. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you like this. Even with the Ryan Garcia, remember it was Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez. They had the 34. They had the press conference, the New York City press conference, right? Yo, there was people outside telling people to come in. To come in, it was free. It wasn't even packed. That's in the heart of New York City. Ask anybody that was there. Ask anybody. There was the promotional company was telling people, come in. We got Ryan, Devin, and T.O. come in, because it was supposed to be a public press conference. Nobody was going in there, bro. It was like, okay, like people coming out of work. Who's the Ryan? T, what? Devin? Who's this guy? Come on, leave me the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? And it's true what Mike Tyson said. People don't fight enough. You know what I'm saying? In the end of the day, social media is social media. So you're only going to get a traffic for social media. Just because you get traffic. Look, I'm gonna tell you, because a lot of people think that social media should translate to the arena. I'm gonna tell you, outside of Jake Paul, I'm gonna tell you, at first I believed it. That's not the case. And I want managers and promoters and networks to understand something. Just because this guy got 1 million subscribers on or followers on IG is not going to translate to the boxing arena. It doesn't. Me too. At first, I didn't think so. And then I got adopted to thinking that way. But now how I see it, and it doesn't think that. It's not like that. Ask any boxing content creator or any content creator, any successful, high traffic. Just because your numbers is great on TikTok, that doesn't mean you're viral and you have high traffic on IG, but you're the same person. I just want you to, I'm simplifying it for y'all. I got 110 subscribers. I got 111 subscribers, 111,000 subscribers on YouTube. And shout out to the people that have followed your boy, that support your boy. If you haven't become a member to the channel, become a member. You haven't donated to the channel, donate to the channel, right? But on IG, I think I only got like 5 to 6 to 7,000 followers. On Twitter, I only got 4,000. So why don't my YouTube translate to the X account or the TikTok account or the IG? I only got 2,000 followers on TikTok. So it's the same thing. Just because you're popping off on IG, that doesn't mean that you're going to be popping off in Madison Square Garden. If you understand what I'm trying to say, just because you're popping off on IG, that doesn't mean you're going to sell out the MGM Grand. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you like this: there's some people that do very, very well on their in the arena that they don't even have to do anything. I'm gonna give you an example. Mario Barrios has what? How many Mario Barrios had? How many pay-per-view headlines does he got? He had the Gervonta Tank Davis. He had the Keith Thurman. He had the Manny Pacquiao, Ryan Garcia. Does anybody here follow Mario Barrios in the social media? Is he a social media sensation? But yet, in the business of boxing, Mario Barrios is a lucrative product. Whether people like it or not, they wouldn't be putting, I know he's with other high-profile names, but Mario Barrios have a decent San Antonio, Texas following. Vergil Ortiz is not out there on social media doing all these stuff trying to get attention, but his fight does very, very well. Jerome Boots Ennis doesn't go out there and do a lot of social media. He's barely really in social media like that. You know what I'm saying? But he does 15,000 in Philadelphia. So you understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't translate. Don't think that because you're a social media sensation is going to translate to a boxing arena. It doesn't. So, the only, in my opinion, the one that's capping in reference to Boots saying this, give me a second. If you just catch it on right now, Boots and Vergil is going on social media. And I'm going to read it again for those that are just tuning in right now. Boots and is tweeted, because of course there's a fight that we all want to see. Boots and is tweeted, I did everything in my power to make this fight happen for the fans. Really? Really, Boots? Did you do everything in your power? Let's just stop right there, folks. Let's just stop right there. Hold on. Boots. Did you do everything in your power to get the Vergil Ortiz fight? Are you serious? Come on now, Boots. I said this a lot of times, man. You know what I hate about the sport of boxing, though? And I don't like about fighters or boxing entities. I love Boots. I love him as a fighter. Been loving him as a fighter ever since the amateurs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But Gary Antoine Russell was beating him. But I'm just saying, I've been talking about Boots for a long time. I hate when they try to insult our intelligence. Like, why are you trying to insult our intelligence? Really, Boots? You did everything in your power. Yo, you had the offer on your table. You didn't care about the fans and what we wanted. You didn't care about us. You didn't care about the Vergil Ortiz. You didn't care that you had Turki Al-Sheikh offering you a big fight. A fight that we all wanted to see. I'm truly thinking, a lot of people saying that, that Vergil Ortiz has taken a step. I mean, that Turki Al-Sheikh has taken a step back. I think that as soon as Vergil Ortiz truly started effing with these American fighters, I think he lost the love. I think I've noticed that from Turki. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think Turki Al-Sheikh has lost the love in trying to elevate. He said, Dana White, just do what you have to do. I will help you. I will help you fund it. I'm done with these fighters. I am done with them. Because one thing for sure, Turki tried. Turki did try. Turki tried to give us Vergil and Boots. You know what I'm saying? Turki tried to tell Gervonta Tank Davis, hey, I got Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. He tried. But Gervonta Tank Davis wanted 2 Ferraris. In which, hey, you know what I'm saying? If I was Turki, I would have given the 2 Ferraris, you know what I'm saying? With the money that he's paying fighters, that would have been easy. He was talking about that. He did shame Canelo Alvarez, saying that you're scared of David Benavidez and Terrence Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Turki is saying to his mind, like, I think Turki had a misconception about fighters. I think that Turki thought that promoters was really the problem in not making the fight. And when he started talking to these fighters, I think he noticed that is the fighter as well. Why wouldn't you fight him? I'm giving you money, motherfucker. What's wrong with these people? And I think that Turki now have seen the light. He knows a lot of people just been blaming, yo, PBC, yo, Top Rank, yo, Oscar De La Hoya, yo, Eddie Hearn. And it's really the fighters that's effing up the bag for everybody else. It's these fighters that is effing up the bag for everybody else. It's these fighters that has effed up the bag for everybody else. Because Turkey was a gold mine. You'd want to fight him, I would make it happen. How much you want? 30, 20, 11, $15 million? Here. What did Chris Eubank Jr. said about negotiating with Turkey? Basically a blank check. Here's right what do you want? What do you want? You put it down. You put it. I don't want anything. Here's the blank check. What did Devin Haney say? He said, when he went to negotiation, when he first went negotiation with Turki Al-Sheikh, he said, yo, the money was so good that I didn't even have to, I just signed right there. I signed right away. So Boots, Turkey said it right here. You ducked them. You ducked Vergil. Ain't no way around it. You can't fake the fans. You can't fake the fans. Don't insult our intelligence. Turkey publicly said that you didn't answer his email, and then he publicly stated that you didn't want to fight Vergil, that you wanted a tune-up fight. And since we are a boxing community that's very, very spoiled, we have a fighter like Earl Spence that says, I don't need no tune-up. But Boots, with your resume, you needed a tune-up?
And he doing business. He asked to go to 154 and have tune-up fight first. I am not charity. Go do it with Eddie, the tune-up fight. And if you're ready, you will have in my side a lot of people waiting for you. You understand me?
That's how you know that Turkey was already annoyed with these fighters. You're telling me you don't want Vergil. You don't want tune-up fight, but you want to give me, you don't want me to give you the $10 million for tune-ups. You gonna do it with Eddie, all right? I ain't no punk bitch, all right? You do it with Eddie, all right? I'm not your sugar daddy, all right? Get that shit out of my face. I do big fights. Do big fights. Tune-up. 2 tune-ups? Like, folks, I will understand if Vergil Ortiz with a full-fledged 154-pounder, an elite and a champion, has beaten almost everybody at 154. Yo, Boots, Vergil just got there. Vergil just got there. What do you mean you needed 2 tune-ups at 154 for Vergil? Vergil just got there. Like, I will understand if Boots was moving up right after Jermell Charlo beat Brian Castano, and they said, yo, I got to offer for you to fight Jermell Charlo, the undisputed, and prove himself in that division, and be like, damn, I might need a tune-up fight after that performance. And where Jermell Charlo was at that moment, I may need a tune-up fight. And good, okay, granted, right? Smart move. You're still young. Smart. But even though we want you to go get that, but smart. But tune-up for Vergil, and I'm not saying that Vergil is not the dangerous fighter, but I'm talking about on paper. You and Vergil already lined up. You and Vergil are really on the same level. Vergil got a better resume, in my opinion. But in terms of where y'all adding your career and age and prime and momentum, you guys are on the same level. Just different styles. And Vergil is willing to fight anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. Well, I know it's not Vergil. Now Vergil and now they in a situation where, you know, Vergil is dealing with his lawsuit with Golden Boy Promotions and arbitration. I think that's unfortunate to the boxing fans. Oscar De La Hoya said that he would have gave Vergil Ortiz $3 million guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Over what if they would have had if they would have secured a 200 plus pay-per-view buys. 200K pay-per-view buys, and that's when they was going to get the back end. So if they didn't budge for that, then I guess there wasn't a big fight as we really thought. If we don't think that this fight could do 200,000 pay-per-view buys, then this fight is not even that big. It's not as big as we thought it could be, or it is. And I don't want to hear people saying, "Oh no, there's no more pay-per-view model." I don't want to hear that shit. If Vergil and Boots can do 200K pay-per-view buys, then it's not as big as we thought it was. And this is why I said, folk, I know you guys, the boxing world, again, we're all contradict ourselves and hypocritical as a community. You guys shrink the sport. I always in my channel always say, yo, fans, stop shrinking our sport, especially at 154. You know, okay, we can't get Vergil versus Boots. Let's get Vergil versus Xander. If we can't get Vergil versus Xander, okay, let's get Vergil versus Kelly. If we can't get Boots versus Vergil, let Boots fight Kelly. They both in matchroom. Hey, yo, let's fight the winner of Thurman and Fundora. I mean, hey, yo, go fight Earl Spence. Yeah, call out. Remember, while Vergil Ortiz was fighting, we saw Boots Ennis and Jamel Charlo outside of the ring. See, I'm all right with that, bro. I'm okay with that. I'm all right. We got Fundora versus Thurman, right? We got this generation, right? Fighting the guys that's already almost on their way out, in the back end of their prime. Almost on their way out. To go into this era of this generation, right? Full flesh into this generation. Fundora will have to be Thurman, Vergil be Spence, and Boots will probably have to be Jamel Charlo. But the boxing fans over here, they be like, nah, man, we don't want to see no fucking Spence. Spence only lost to one guy, my brothers. Spence only lost to one guy, and is arguably top 10, the greatest of all time, Terrence Bud Crawford. Keith Thurman only lost to one guy, Manny Pacquiao, regarded top 10, top 5 greatest of all time, Manny Pacquiao. And Jamel Charlo, his last loss was to Canelo Alvarez. I don't want to hear nobody in this boxing community trying to tell me, oh no, Boots and Jamel Charlo not a good fight. Oh yes, it is. I don't want to hear nobody talking to me, oh, Vergil Ortiz and Earl Spence not a good. Oh yes, it is. Earl Spence and Vergil Ortiz do 60,000 in Dallas Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And guess what? I believe that Keith Thurman could surely upset Sebastian Fundora. I don't know if Boots could beat Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly got a stadium waiting for him. That's a money fight there in the UK. We got Xander Zayas, the Puerto Rican pride. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of fights to be made. Nobody should be shutting down no fights. If you be shutting down any of these mix and matches fights, you're not a fan of the sport. You're not a fan of the sport. You spoil bitches in the sport. Oh, I don't know. Spence is done. I don't want Jamel Charlo. I want Boots and Vergil. That's it. No. If we're going to say it's a stacked division, well, damn it, it's a stacked division. Don't contradict yourself. Don't be hypocrites. If it's a stacked division, that means that all these matchups are great matchups. All these matches are great matchups. If Thurman beats Fundora, I want to see Fundora of Thurman versus Spence is a fight that I've been wanting to see. God damn it. Yeah. Mitchell in the building, right? Of course. Because this is a 154-pound division. And anybody can get it. Upset or weights at 154, ladies and gentlemen. Upset or weights. What happened to Conwell? What happened to Conwell? We need to stop. This is the problem with the boxing world. We killing fights, predicting like it's facts. Oh, come on, man. I don't want to see no Vergil and Spence. Vergil will be Spence. You don't know that. I don't want to. Jamel Charlo lose to Canelo. Jamel Charlo lost to Canelo in 168-pound division, but mother effer, he's the king at 154 if he wants to be. If Jamel Charlo walks at 154 today, ain't none of these belt holders took that strap away from him. He wears the crown, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he wears the crown. Yes, he does. If Jamel Charlo walks at 154, I'm here. He's the king. Fundora ain't taking from Jamel. Sanders, I didn't take it from Jamel. Boots, nobody took it from. If Jamel walks at 154 pounds, he says he gonna look at y'all. Who you got your belt from? Not from me. Who you got your belt from? Not from me. What y'all gonna do, boxing world? It's because I didn't like the way he fought Canelo Alvarez and shit like. No, that was one. He was trying to dare to be great. If he didn't fight the way that people wanted him to fight, didn't take the approach. If he didn't become Buck Crawford overnight out there, yeah, shout out Buck Crawford. He beat Canelo Alvarez. That doesn't mean that Jamel Charlo's Buck Crawford. But don't shit on Jamel Charlo for going 2 divisions up. As a matter of fact, shit on fucking Canelo Alvarez for not stopping Jamel Charlo. Matter of fact, shit on Canelo Alvarez for fighting Jamel Charlo. Should have fought David Benavidez. These guys ain't doing nothing. Ain't nothing to be shaming other dudes that's putting in work in the sport of boxing. Jamel Charlo put in work in the sport of boxing. He put in work. Vergil, have you ever become a world champion? Boots Ennis, have you ever become a world champion in the 154-pound division, the landmine division, the most dangerous and stacked division in the sport of boxing? Ain't nobody you shouldn't be shitting on no Earl Spence. Earl Spence put in work. He got a legacy behind him. Y'all motherfuckers killing fights over dudes that haven't even done half of what these guys done. Fuck out of here. And we can't get Boots, we can't get Vergil. Let's go, Vergil. Go fight Earl Spence in Dallas, Texas. Fight Jamel Charlo in Dallas, in Texas as well. 2 Texas boys. You know what I'm saying? A lot of money. Boots is right. Don't sit around and wait. Go fight Josh Kelly. Don't sit around and wait. Go fight Josh Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. Go fight Josh Kelly. I've been talking about that fight for 7 years. 7 years, your boy Punch One Boxing. So I like it. I'm telling you, I like it. I like it, baby. I like that fight. I don't know about y'all. It seems like a lot of people in the boxing world is keeping their mouth shut. Y'all keeping your mouth shut when it comes to Josh Kelly. Huh? Oh, yo, Josh Kelly gonna beat Bakram and shit. Josh Kelly won. Y'all like, shit. Y'all don't want to mix Josh Kelly. Why are we not hearing Josh Kelly and Boots? Josh Kelly and Xander. Josh Kelly and the winner of Fundora and Thurman. Josh Kelly and Vergil Ortiz. Ooh, I thought that Bakram was the boogeyman. I thought that Josh Kelly took care of the boogeyman. Y'all scared to speak about Josh Kelly. Huh? No, let's talk about Josh Kelly now, huh? Talk about Josh Kelly. Nah, man, there's a lot of things to prove. And put it this way, even if Vergil Ortiz fight Boots Ennis and Vergil beats Boots or Boots beats Vergil, they still got something to prove because none of them are going to be champion anyway. That's just a bragging rights fight. That's just bragging rights. But guess what? If Boots beats Vergil or Vergil beats Boots and Xander and Josh Kelly wins and Josh Kelly beats Xander, become a 3-division world champion or vice versa, Xander beat Josh Kelly, he got 3 belts. Guess who's the man? Guess who's the man? Ladies and gentlemen, as much as I want to see this fight, Vergil versus Boots, they could both fight each other. But whoever wins ain't the man at 154. It's not clear-cut the man at 154. I don't give a damn what type of spin y'all going, what type of narrative y'all going to say. No, you can have your opinion and be like, you like Vergil more, you like Boots more. But at 154, oh no, you got to put in work. You got to put in work. 154 is the most competitive, dangerous division in the sport of boxing. He said, I have no clue how Thurman will look. That's the beauty about boxing, that we don't know how these fighters will look. We can make a prediction, and sometimes we turn out to be geniuses, and sometimes we turn out to be dummy. That's the art of predicting, right? We're going to be right or we're going to be wrong. Many thought that Josh Kelly was going to lose to Bakram. I said that Josh Kelly was going to beat Bakram. I was a genius by the time 4 p.m. Eastern time came about. But damn, I said that Teofimo Lopez was going to beat Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson basically pitched a shutout versus Teofimo Lopez. And I became a dummy in 7 hours. I don't know. I didn't think that T was going to show up like that. You didn't think that Bakram was going to show like that. A lot of people didn't think that Buster Douglas was going to beat Mike Tyson. And everybody going to be here, I predicted back in the days. I did predict that Buster Douglas was going to beat Mike Tyson. No, I don't know. Y'all didn't think that after Wilder versus Fury, that Fury was going to put hands on Deontay Wilder and beat him up from pillar to post. Nobody thought that. Nobody thought that. After the first fight, everybody say, man, you just got to stay away from Wilder. Stay away from the right hand. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Fight him like you did Klitschko. Fight him like you did. Nobody thought that Fury was going to unleash his inner Mike Tyson on Deontay Wilder. And even in the third fight, a lot of people didn't think that Deontay Wilder was going to be successful in some of the rounds. To be honest, I thought that fight could have been over in the 4th and 5th round when Deontay Wilder knocked down Tyson Fury twice. Thurman has the intangibles. Thurman has the IQ. Thurman has the footwork. Thurman has the unpredictability. Thurman has the awkwardness to be Sebastian Fundora. And why? Why do I believe that Thurman is going to beat Fundora? Fundora, which he has gotten better, but Fundora fights to the height of his competition. That's the gift and the curse. The gift is that Fundora fights in a way that he entertains us. He's 6'6". He goes to the body. He shoots his uppercut. He bangs out. But that's why you see him get touched up by Brian Mendoza. That's why you see he get knocked down by Erickson Lubin, a guy that Vergil Ortiz beat in the first round. Keith on Tom Thurman. Let me tell you like this. Keith on Tom Thurman used to be a body snatcher. If you follow Keith on Tom Thurman in the amateurs, and well, but this ain't the amateur. Shut the F up. Because when we're talking about damn Lomachenko and Rigger Down, Andy Cruz and Usyk, we always bring the damn amateurs. Why we can't do it with the American fighters, damn it? Because at the end of the day, what you see right now, is the amateur skill set. It's just sharpened. They're already a well-oiled machine. Keith Thurman was breaking ribs. Keith Thurman was knocking a lot of people out going to the body. Keith Thurman knows how to go to the body. Keith Thurman knows how to go to the body. I think he abandoned that a little bit, in my opinion, when he became more of just trying to box people out. But he could go to the body. He does got a great overright. He got that same punch that Brian Mendoza landed on Fundora. But Keith Thurman does have trouble with taller fighters. I believe both of these guys is gonna go through adversity. Keith one time Thurman got knocked down early on in his career. I think it was the second or third fight. Keith one time Thurman got hurt by Soto Corraz in the first round. Way taller than Thurman. Thurman got hurt by Josecito Lopez. He was way taller than Thurman. Thurman, I believe that even Mario Barrios, he hurt him a little bit, you know what I'm saying, to the body until he took his mouthpiece out. You know what I'm saying? So taller fighters also has hurt Keith Thurman, and they could hurt Keith Thurman. Fundora could hurt Keith Thurman. I believe that there's going to be adjustments and people's going to and these fighters going to have to overcome. But guess who I trust for overcoming and surviving? Thurman. Thurman is battle tested, and Thurman is battle tested in surviving. Just like I said, he gets hurt. Everybody knows that. Keith Thurman is a vulnerable fighter, just like Fundora. Fundora is highly vulnerable. He did have a draw. He did get knocked down early on in his career. He did get knocked out early in his career. That's already in his mindset. But Keith one time Thurman, he knows how to survive. And every time Keith one time Thurman gets hurt, Soto Corraz, what he did throughout the fight, when he was having trouble with Diego Chavez, hurt Diego Chavez, knocked Diego Chavez. When he got hurt from Luis Collazo, came right back the next round, bomb, and then another round, and then retired Luis Collazo. And then what happened with Sean Porter when he hurt him a little bit to the body and stuff like that? What happened? That was the 10th round. What happened in the 11th round? Keith von Tom Thurman put hands on he wins every round, even when Manny Pacquiao hurt Keith von Tom Thurman to the body in the 10th round. Go look at the 11th round. Keith von Tom Thurman won the 11th round. So one thing about Keith von Tom Thurman, he is vulnerable. He gets put down. He gets hurt. But Keith Thurman has a level of pain tolerance. A lot of fighters that get hit with the body shot Keith Thurman gets hit will stay down. Keith Thurman has a pain tolerance. He had a threshold of pain tolerance that is better than a lot of elite fighters today. Does Fundora got that? Fundora will fight back, but we've seen Fundora get laid out. So if I trust the survival tactics of Fundora and Thurman, I trust Thurman. Even when Thurman gets hurt, he knows how to get out the way. There's one thing about Keith Thurman. When Keith Thurman gets hurt, he does not get hit with that. That same punch does not hurt him twice. Look at Josecito Lopez. Josecito Lopez hurt him in that 7th round. Keith Thurman washed him throughout that fight. After that, Josecito Lopez couldn't even. Josecito had him. Josecito couldn't finish because Keith Thurman knows how to survive. Now, one great thing I like what I heard about Keith Thurman in one of the latest interviews, he said, I just finished running 6 miles. I think what has happened to fighters is that, and I'm not talking about Keith Thurman. I'm happy that he's back doing road work. I've listened to fighters. I've listened to new training methods. There's fighters out there that's abandoning road work. And I've seen when people abandon road work, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like people have this new science. They they just sprinting, run, sprint, whatever, run, shortening up what they really need to do. Like road work is one of the most important things. I heard it from Sugar Ray Leonard. I heard it from Mike Tyson. All the legendary fighters did it. Even Floyd Mayweather still run his miles a day. Manny Pacquiao still runs his miles a day and stuff like that. But I was listening to, but fighters fighters are abandoning road work. I know that takes an hour or hour and a half of your time, and that's why people don't want to do it. But when it comes to the sport of boxing, just like Sugar Ray Leonard said in one of his speeches back in the days, he said that the reason why he beat Hearns was the road work. The road work got me over the hump. The road work, Roberto Duran said, never abandon your road work. He said, you abandon your road work, you're going to lose. You're a loser if you abandon your road work. So I like that Keith Thurman said, I just finished running 6 miles and I I finished running 6 miles. And after that, I did cycling. That means Keith Thurman is more than ready than a 12 round bout. I believe that we're going to see the traditional Keith Thurman lateral movement. I think that Keith Thurman's footwork is going to make Fundora cross his feet. I think the unpredictability. I don't think that Fundora has been in the ring with anything like the movement, the intangibles, the awkwardness of a Keith Thurman. Sebastian Fundora is highly predictable. Fundora and Brandon Figueroa has the same issue. That's one thing. That's why I couldn't see Brandon Figueroa becoming a true success. He had the potential, but they like to bang. They like to fight. They can't identify their range. They don't use the jab like that. I like the way that Fundora was using the jab versus Tim Tszyu. That's why I said I think that Fundora is getting better at it, right? But I think that Keith Thurman is going to put himself in position where Fundora think he's there and is not going to be there. He's going to get hits with shots that he don't see. I've seen, if you put it this way, do your studies, go watch film work. Sebastian Fundora fights the same way he fought in the amateurs. The same way. He never changed. He really never changed. I think he got better with identifying the jab and saying, I can make my job a little easier. Why does Sebastian Fundora make his job easier? You're 6'6", bro. You're towering over everybody in that division. And that's why I'm like, Fundora, good guy, good family guy, good kid, you know what I'm saying? Smart, presentable, he's a great guy for the sport of boxing. Great guy for the sport of boxing. But he looks smart, but I think his weakness, in my opinion, and I say he's gotten better, is his IQ. And like Mike Tyson said, tough guys don't win. smart guys do. I think Keith Thurman is smarter than Fundora. I don't know if I think that a Fundora should got in the ring with somebody with movement like a Thurman. I think he's got in the ring with a lot of stationary fighters. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine if Fundora, because look, Erickson Lubin, if Erickson Lubin would have, excuse me, did what he did and then started boxing a little bit more, should have listened to his corner, Kevin Cunningham, right? And I think that he was listening to the fans and stuff like that. I think that for Erickson Lubin, he likes to fight, and it was easy to get into a fight. And I think that he could have. I think that Erickson Lubin was highly confident and think that he could have just stopped Fundora. But I think that Fundora is going to get in a fight with a Thurman, and I trust Thurman in between those shots. I think if you're gonna, if I think if it's gonna be a war, you know, I think Thurman could get licked up, pause. But I think in between the shots, I think that Fundora is gonna get hurt more. You know, I mean, I just see a lot of openings, man. I see a lot of openings for Keith Thurman. I can see openings to the body. I see that overhand. I see, you know what I'm saying, the left hook to the body. You know, I'm not going to say that Keith Thurman has one of the greatest defense. You know, Fundora is a high volume puncher. If it goes to a decision, I think that Fundora is going to be throwing more punches. So they're going to tally that up. So it's going to be, it's going to be an interesting matchup. It's going to be interesting matchup. I think we're going to see a fight of the year candidate. I think we're going to see a fight of the year candidate, you know, with Keith Thurman and Sebastian Fundora. You know what I'm saying? And I hope it's a memorable fight, but I think it's going to be one of the most interesting, dynamic fights we're going to get. Now, of course, people talk about Keith Thurman's age, but I don't think about age when there's no wear and tear. What is Keith Thurman? 31 and 1? 30 or 31 and 1? I mean, I know a lot of people have been talking about his inactivity, but probably his inactivity is probably going to get him over the hump versus Sebastian Fundora. I think his inactivity is going to give him over the hump. A lot of people, because put it this way, folks, a lot of people keeps talking about the inactivity of Thurman, the age of Thurman, but in that ring, if you think about it, who's taking more punishment? Sebastian Fundora may be older in that ring than the Keith Thurman. If you understand what I'm trying to say. Fundora been taking hits for a long time. Fundora been getting dropped. He been having hard fights. You know what I'm saying? Even the fights that he win is not even easy. That Erickson Lubin took a lot of Fundora. That Brian Mendoza took a lot. Also, let's not forget that though, even the first fight with Tim Tszyu, it was not a whitewash. It was that he was bleeding like crazy. So Fundora, he's got more wear and tear. I think he's gotten hit in the head harder than Keith Thurman in his career. I'm not going to say that Keith Thurman haven't had no wear and tear, but if you think about it, okay, what was the toughest fights that you'd be like, damn, yo, shit, you know? I mean, he had the hematoma, but that was a hematoma. That was a headbutt. That was a headbutt. That was not a punch. That was a headbutt from Goes Guerrero. That's a hematoma, right? The Sean Porter fight was probably the more taxing. The Manny Pacquiao, but even he got dropped, but I don't think that he truly like he suffered a lot. And it's been more, and people always talk about that Keith Thurman is weak to the body. So that means that his body is getting hit, not really his head. So I think the guy that has the more wear and tear is Sebastian Fundora. You know, so I think it levels everything out. It levels everything out. I think that Keith Thurman going to have to invest in the body. I think if Thurman wants to win, I think he should go out there and bang with him. I think so. At this point, who got faster hands? That's a good. I think they got right now. I mean, Thurman is still quick. Thurman is still quick. I'm not gonna say when he throws a lot of combination punches. I don't think that he's a 5, 6, 7 punching combination puncher like that. I like his 2, 3, maybe 4 combination punches. He does. I love his up jab. I like the way he disguises a lot of these shots. I like his eye coordinating where he looked like he's throwing. I like his leaping left hook. He got an underrated jab. He's not an incredible jabber and stuff like that. Like he's more of a feinter. I love his feints. I think he substitute his feints. I think he substitute his jab with feints and get his opponent off rhythm. I think that Keith Thurman sets beautiful traps. Keith Thurman could be on the back foot, and he's highly accurate and highly effective off the back foot. We've seen it a lot of time. We've seen him catch dudes with a left hook, with a right left hook off the back foot. Keith Thurman has this. I don't know what I don't know how to really call it. Like Keith Thurman, he'll throw a shot, right? He'll throw the right hand and he'll pull with the left. Like he'll get out the way, but still land that beautiful left hook. It's not like bang, bang, right? It's not like I'm right hand and coming at you. He'll throw this hook like bang, and then he'll whap, pull out. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a pull hook or something. I don't know what it's called. If any coach out there, y'all could tell me. But I've been following Keith Thurman since he was Samson, bro. And I just think that Keith got a lot of intangibles, but his defense, I think been lacking a little bit, man. I think I remember when I was watching the Manny Pacquiao fight and Keith Thurman was using like a little shoulder rub. I'm like, yo, that's not you, Thurman. Like, where do you learn this from? No, don't do that. That's not you. Because Keith Thurman always had a traditional boxing stand, traditional defense, high guard, traditional old school defense type of. And then when I remember when he started doing this, and I'm like, no. Like, if you look at the Manny Pacquiao fight, the Josecito Lopez, once Keith Thurman was showing these new looks that I know is not coming from Dan Birmingham, and we sure know it's not coming from Ben Getty. It looked like Keith Thurman was experimenting on new looks on the defense, and it wasn't working for him. It wasn't working for him. You know what I'm saying? One thing about Keith Thurman, he used to never be so undisciplined. When he got called for Manny Pacquiao, he was undisciplined defensive end. You know what I'm saying? Like pulling back, hands down. Like that wasn't Thurman. I don't know if it was when he went, I think after the Danny Garcia fight, he went out there to Nepal and went out there in Asia, and he was, you know what I'm saying, mixing with the Thai boxers and shit like that. And I don't know, but I knew something changed. Like if I know that's not Dan Birmingham style. And me as a Thurman guy that been following Keith Thurman since day one, I'm like, why? I was watching the fight. I'm like, why Keith Thurman is doing that? That's not you, bro. Why you doing that? You're gonna get hit. Because it looked like he's not even, it looked like he was using it like fucking Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Like, go back to the Josecito Lopez fight. Like, that's not Thurman. Thurman, you never used that, but guess what? Even that Josecito Lopez fight, Keith Thurman landed more jabs than he ever landed in his whole career. So, I like, this is what I like about Thurman, though. That Thurman is highly creative. And being highly creative is that Thurman, what makes him dangerous is that he's highly unpredictable. You don't know if Thurman wants to knock you out or Thurman want to decide to outbox you. A lot of people, look, put it this way. A lot of people say, oh, this other fighter know how to switch from orthodox southpaw. Guess what? Keith Thurman was switching from orthodox southpaw. Go check out how he knocked down Leonard Bundu. He switched to southpaw and knocked down Leonard Bundu. So Keith Thurman also has the intangible to switch southpaw if he wants. I'm telling you, if you look at his art, if we look at these fighters and like we look at artists and their albums and artwork, if you look at Keith Thurman from, if you want to talk about his first televised fight, because I could talk about when he was an amateur and he didn't even know how to, he didn't even throw no jab. He was just fighting out there trying to knock people off, sending people to the hospital. breaking ribs, literally breaking ribs. If you look at his artwork from all his big fights, it doesn't look the same. The way that he fought Carlos Quintana is different from when he fought Diego Chavez. It's different from how he fought. Even when you look at the Danny Swift Garcia fight, look at the first half of that fight. Look at the first, the second, the third round of that fight. And then look at the second half of that fight. So he could go out there guns blazing. There's one thing about Keith von Thurman. He starts off fast. He starts off fast. You know why? Because Thurman is a master of tempo, of dictating the pace. The only time, and look, before the knockdown with Manny Pacquiao, he was actually winning that round. He just got careless. But he was winning. Go look at, man, trust me, I do film study all day. Keith von Thurman was winning the round before he got knocked down by Manny Pacquiao. Keith von Thurman, he comes out guns blazing. You know what I'm saying? He sets the tone, he sets the power. Then eventually, you always going to be thinking about that power that you felt in the first and second round, that pace, and then Keith Thurman slows it down. And now Keith Thurman now is the lead. That's Keith. Keith Thurman he's a very creative fighter. I don't think that a Fundora is a creative fighter. What you see is what you get. He's predictable. Keith Thurman is very, very few fighters that Bud Crawford is a creative fighter. If Bud Crawford wants to fight the same way that he fights in the 10th round of the first round, he would. He's very creative. Thurman is very creative. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys from that generation, in my opinion, was very creative, in my opinion. They was very smart in their approach, you know? And I think it's what they had to go through. You know what I'm saying? I think about it. Thurman had to go through Charles Hatley, Sean Porter, Demetrius Andre in the amateurs. Remember, he wasn't in the Olympics because Demetrius Andre beat him in the Olympic trial. So Keith Thurman was an Olympic alternate. So that was a very tough, that was a very tough class. That was a very tough class. One of the toughest class, in my opinion. One of the toughest class, in my opinion, was that class. You know what I'm saying? And then I did like the Gary Antoine Vergil class, the Shakur Stevenson class, T.O. class. That was the same, you know what I'm saying? T.O. versus Malik Montgomery, Shakur Stevenson versus Ramirez, Gary Antoine Russell versus Richardson Hitchens and Boots and all of them and stuff like that. That was the best. That was a great class, but the best class was that 07 class, bro. That 07 class with Bud and Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny Jacobs, even in the outside of America, Ugas beat Bud Crawford in the amateurs. Sean Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs. Who else we had? Sean Porter knocked out Danny Jacobs in the amateurs. I thought that Charles Hatley was going to be better than what he's shown. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? The Charlos took him out. Jamal Charlo took him out. And the Charlo wasn't really like ringing bells like these other guys, right? But look how they became in the professional level. So that class is very, very talented. What y'all think about I need to get Xander Zayas back on the channel, man. Hold on, let me see. Give me a second. We're trying to get Thurman on the channel. We're probably gonna have Keith von Thurman next week. Hopefully, we're trying to secure this. We could have secured him tomorrow, but I can't do it tomorrow. I'm highly busy tomorrow, but there was a schedule that there was an available schedule for tomorrow, but I can't do it tomorrow, so I apologize and stuff like that. But for this upcoming week, where I'm already working, I already got the email. We're working on to get Keith from Tom Thurman on the show. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be a dynamic interview. If you're a member to the channel, I'm gonna put the information for the members and stuff like that, so y'all can ask y'all questions and things of that nature. Also, we want to get Xander's Eyes on the channel. Let's not forget that your boy Punch on Boxing. We had Xander's Eyes a long time ago. A long time. Look at the date. Hold on. Let me look at the date when we had young Xander on the channel. 17 years old. He was 17 years old when we had him on the channel, bro. Look how young he looked, bro. We need him back on the channel. That's what, yo, I'm telling you, yo. One thing about your boy Punch, I know when a fighter gonna be great, bro. I got an eye for talent, bro. I got an eye for talent. And I said this, you know what I'm saying? When I created my channel, I'm like, you know what, man, I'm new to this content creation stuff. I'm not gonna get no damn Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, or highly established fighters. And remember what I told y'all. I said I was an amateur head. You know what I'm saying? I follow the amateurs a lot. If you look at my interviews, in the beginning of when I started my channel, look at the guys I was interviewing: Xander Zayas, Teofimo. We even had, let's not forget, we had Ryan Garcia a long time ago with Sean Garcia. Jerome Boost Ennis, Xander Zayas, Body from Canada. Who else? Kid Austin, Keyshawn Davis. So I'm talking about these guys. I'm talking about all these fighters before they become who they, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully we get Xander's Eyes, and he's not too big, he's not too popular. But today those guys, that's yeah. Cause I like to interview, of course, because I like to interview fighters that, you know, especially those that I believe that it's gonna be that guy. Look at Ben Whitaker. We had him over here. He turned pro. Ben Whitaker. Who else I've interviewed? I couldn't get Josh Kelly, but me and Josh Kelly would have done an interview a long time ago. You know, Keith can't pull it off. I think that Keith could do better than Brian Mendoza. I think people look at it like a triangle theory. If Brian Mendoza could do it, then Keith could do it. I think that Keith is going to, that's one thing about Keith. He never lost. He said he lost that dog. Remember with Mario Barrios. I know that people try to shame him with the ever since he got married, man, he ain't the same. Maybe that could be it, but I think there's a different look on Keith Thurman. There's a real different look on Keith Thurman. I think that, you know, he's a very prideful person as well, very serious and prideful, and maybe with his kids, and now he got a son, right? Congratulations to Keith from Tom Thurman. I think he got his edge back. I think he's doing his old school regimen, working out. Like, I truly believe that he got his edge back. You know, Mitchell said, yo, that's awesome. I just started my channel. I hope I can get to where you do a good job. Thank you, my brother. You know, I think that focus on those, in my opinion, this is what I'll say. I feel, because I did that, you know, I'd rather focus on the fighters that's coming up and build that relationship. And then when they become who they become, you know, they might, I'm gonna tell you like this, 80% of them is not gonna show you that. I'm not gonna say that they're not gonna show you love, but they're not gonna remember who was there showing them love when nobody was interviewing them, nobody was asking for an autograph, nobody's really looking at them like that, especially in the social media platforms, YouTube or whatever, right? But once they see you in person, if they don't show you love all the time, they'll see you in person. They're gonna know. Because let me tell you something about fighters. Fighters, they so good when you showing them love. When a lot of people don't know who they are, and their family and friends, they appreciate that. When they get big, when they're getting big, the people around them, they all in position as well. And guess what? They don't want to lose their position. So it's not sometimes I've noticed this. I've noticed this. I've already been in this game for quite some time. The game, the people around these fighters, eventually they don't want new people around. So strategically, they tell these fighters, oh, forget them. Oh, fuck them. Oh, they really haters. Oh, because fighters, you know what happened? Fighters start saying, I like this person. I like this person. I like this person. But the people in place, they scared to lose their position. So they shit on everybody else. And that's what happens. Then what happens? They lose. When they lose, those fake ones, they leave. And then the fighter goes back and thinking, yo, who was there with me when nobody was really rocking with me? And then boom. All right. You know, some of them will be on their high horse. You know what I'm saying? I remember Boots Ennis. Shout out to Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis, I remember I was doing interviews with him. And then I remember I drove my motorcycle all the way to Philly. And I said, yo, I want to show love to Boots Ennis. I went there for the press conference, but I really just went there, man. I'm going to show love to Jerome Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? This is my opportunity. He's going to be fighting in Philly. Let me just go out there for the press conference. I see a bunch of people waiting online to do an interview with Boots Ennis. I'm like, Boots know me, and I just did an interview with his dad, and I said, yo, remember he did his first interview. He's like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, you was the first one that did the interview with my son and stuff like that. Of course, I remember you. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool, right? Because I remember when I did the interview with Jerome Boots Ennis the first time, they were like, yo, I'm glad that you're doing the interview with Boots because it's gonna make him better than when he makes it and does a lot of interviews, he's going to be ready for it. So they used to give me props and thank me that I'm doing interviews with him so early on. But peep this. So when that time when he was doing the media, the press conference, right? There was a line. So I said, let me do an interview with Eddie Hearn, right? Because a lot of people there was only 2 people waiting on Eddie Hearn. So I did the interview with Eddie Hearn. Jerome Boots Ennis already finished with his last interview. So I said, all right, let me go. Now let me do an interview with Boots Ennis. Yo, Boots, what's good? Yo, let's chop it up. And you know what Boots did to me? He goes, I said, wow. Wow. He was like this, bro. I said, wow. I'm like, damn. And I seen Boots after his fight versus Karen because I was in the locker room when it was Boots, Demetrius Andre. Go watch my video. I was in the locker room. We took a picture. Yo, what's good, Boots? Man, I knew he was going to be a world champion when he became a world champion, the IBF champion. I got a picture with Boots. I was in the locker room. I was out there. And then when he did that shit, I'm like, pero mírate, tigre. That's how it, and I say, yo, that's how it is when people get real high like that. When people get to the top, they forget like that. Wow. So you don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? You don't take it personal, but if I've been if I was surprised by any type of relations or any moment, you know what I'm saying? It was that. It was that moment. I'm like, wow. And I know that there's another boxing YouTuber, I know, already heard that they be talking mad shit about me with these other fighters and shit like that. And you know what I'm saying? Yo, don't be doing interviews with them because fighters already tell me. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about boxing. You can't, everybody tell on everybody. Everybody talk. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talks somewhere. It's going to reach to somebody. So they already told me particular YouTubers tell these fighters, yo, don't do no interview, man. He a hater, yo. He saying this. Yo, don't do interviews with him because they just want to keep their fighters to themselves. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, everybody been cool. Everybody really cool. Everybody really cool. That's awesome. But I got Thurman upsetting Sebastian Fundora in a thrilling matchup. Punch my bad didn't mean KO. Keith is more skilled than Brian. However, if Keith can set traps for Sebastian, he can pull this off. I think he can pull it off. I think he got a great chance. Yes, Fundora got momentum. Keith Thurman, he fought out there in Australia. He got the KO. I think he got that confidence. I think even though that guy wasn't high rank, but I think just beating somebody up gives you the confidence to go back in the gym and then go back into that killer instinct. I think that Keith Thurman needed that. It's not necessarily that he needed that. It's not necessarily that who he beat, but I think he needed that performance, regardless who it was. He needed that performance, and people may not give that performance any credit. But if you look at the resume of back in the days, bro, let me tell you like this. We always want to shame fighters today with back in the days fighters. But for Roberto Duran and Hagler to get back into the rhythm of things, you know what I'm saying? They had to fight guys like what? Look, I'm gonna give you an example. Because people want to shit on Keith Thurman's last performance because, oh, he just knocked out this guy, but who was him? I'm gonna show you something. Because I think people like to talk about boxing, but they forget about boxing at the same time. Watch. I'm gonna give you an example. Right here. I'm gonna give you an example. So, 1976, right? Marvin Hagler loses to Bobby Watts. Then he fights a guy. Look, so you can see when people say, oh, remember Keith won something ain't for nobody, ain't gonna do that. But those performances help you go back into training camp, get you back in that killer mode and stuff. You need these performances, like people forget. So peep this, right? So y'all can see 1976, he loses to Bobby Watts. Then he fights a month later and gets a TKO versus Matt Donovan. Then a month later, he fights Willie Monroe and loses. So he loses twice. He loses twice in a span of three months. Then he fights to get back into the rhythm of Marvin Hagler, right? He fights Bob Smith, and then he fights DC Walker. What's their record? Look, he loses. This is Hagler. This is the dangerous Hagler, right? He loses to Willie Monroe and Bobby Watts. Then, to get him back, to get back his confidence, he fights Bob Smith, 6-4. The next fight, he fights DC Walker, 2 wins and 12 losses. Look at these guys he's fighting. Look. George Davis, 11-17 losses. Now, look at the date. So Marvin Hagler, 1976, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 fights. By the end of the year, then he fights, and by the end of the year, he goes on a 3 TKO stretch. He fights Willie Monroe again and stops Willie Monroe. Remember, he lost to Willie Monroe. That's the difference between boxing then and today. The difference is that back in the days, a dude has a bad performance or he loses, but it doesn't stay in the memory of fans because they get back in the ring a month later and then they win and get a TKO and the fans go, yay, again. And then he goes back in the ring and loses. Oh, man, he ain't that. But then he gets back in the ring the next month. Yeah, another KO, another KO, another KO, another KO. But today, fans stay within that win for a long time and fans stay within that fighter losing for a long time. You understand? So when a fighter loses today in January, he stays a loser for the next year or the end of the year because he hasn't fought. So I'll give you an example. So let's say Teofimo Lopez lost to Shakur Stevenson January 31st. When is Teofimo Lopez going to get back in the ring? So he's going to stay a loser until he gets back in the ring. You don't believe in him until he gets back in the ring and gets a win, right? It's almost like Devin Haney, right? Got his ass whooped by Ryan Garcia. The next time he got back in the ring was in May of the next year. So the whole year, up to the point he fought Jose Ramirez, he was a laughingstock. He should retire. He should get a new trainer. He's done. He will never be the same. But if Devin Haney would have lost to Ryan Garcia, get back in the ring to Jose Ramirez the next month, beat Jose Ramirez, get in the ring with Brian Norman Jr. In 2 months, beat Brian Norman Jr., then get back in the ring and fight somebody else and beat Mario Barrett, then get back. And by the end of the year, you've already forgot that Ryan Garcia, once those stretches of win. Now look how we talk about Devin Haney, but think about if it was in a year span. That's the problem with boxing. We like to say these back in the days, but they all struggled back in the days. They all got put down. They all lost. They had their draws and everything. They all struggles, right? Hagler was losing to guys like what you think is George Kambosos. You understand? But back in the days, you get right back up. Look at Julio Cesar Chavez. We talk about Hagler. Let's talk about Julio Cesar Chavez. Look right here. Give me a second. Class in session. Smash that like button. Watch. Give me a second. What was it? 1994, 1993. Put it this way. All right, let's look at Julio Cesar Chavez. 1994. Peep this. Hello. Con los 2 pesos de plátano. Teofimo Lopez, the lottery boy. Look it. Okay. So in 1994, the famous Frankie Randall versus Julio Cesar Chavez, January 1994. Top of the year. January 29th. Split decision loss versus Frankie Randall. Oh my God. Yo, he lost to Frankie Randall. Shit. In 4 months, in 4 months, he gets back in the ring versus Frankie Randall and beats Frankie Randall. Right? People still was, oh, okay. Then 4 months later, he gets in the ring and fights Medrick Taylor. TKO win. End of the year, he fights Tony Lopez. So peep this. Peep this. Right? 1984. Loses to Frankie Randall. Oh, shit. He fights Frankie Randall again. On 4 months. Look, January, he fights him in May. He gets a win. He fights in September. Medrick Taylor gets a win. That was a great win. Tony Lopez in December. So he starts the year off with a loss. Oh, man. Damn, he's not. And then he ends the year and being Julio Cesar Chavez, the man, the legend, the myth, as we know it. That's the difference between the past and today. We think that the past, that these guys ain't go through blemishes, these guys ain't go through adversity, these guys ain't go through losses, these guys ain't go through humiliation, these guys need to, but the time to get back on track was very, it was a short term. It's just a short-term setback. Today is a long-term setback, right? It's too long. If you have a bad performance, okay, look at this. Gervonta Tank Davis' last performance was with Lamar Roach. People thought that Lamar Roach won. So think about it. We're stuck on Gervonta Tank Davis with Lamar Roach for over a year. Damn. When he's going to be back? He done. Damn. That's the bad thing about boxing. It's just not it's the inactivity, but promoters got to understand and managers got to understand. You do a disservice to your fighter. Yo, if you lose and my fighter loses, I'm getting him right back in the ring, bro. I'm getting him back. If he didn't lose like badly, like you know what I'm saying, he don't got cuts, he didn't got to go to the hospital and shit like that, I'm getting my fighter right back in the ring. 2-3 months. I don't care if it's a guy that's ranked number 20. I need his confidence way back up. I need his name, because at the end of the day, what fans mostly like, give me a highlight reel. Give me a highlight reel. Give me that win right away to show the people that you just had a bad day. You just had a bad day. Let's switch up the narrative right quick, because that narrative of you being a loser, that narrative that you lost it, that narrative that it's just too long. And in the world of today, we're living in the real world, the REEL. We looking for the next right away. We don't, man, especially today, we don't stay stuck. We don't stay stuck on shit. ¿Qué son de building? Estamos cocinando, mi hermano. Estamos cocinando aquí. Now we talking strictly boxing, because people hitting me up. Yo, Punch, man. You know what I'm saying? You, man, cool. You know, man, I love your channel, man. But you know what I'm saying? You be talking that Carissa Shoe shit. I don't want to listen to that bullshit, man. I want to get you back in boxing, man. So I listen to my people. So, you know what I'm saying? We talking strictly boxing, right, Gasson? We going back in the day. We talking about Julio Cesar Chavez, Frankie Randall shit today. We talking Frankie Randall shit today. Música de queso, ponme la música de queso. You being boxing?
Say he's got his own money. I mean, the boy has got his own money.
What's his name? Burt Sugar. Sugar Burt. Burt Sugar today. ¿Qué? Mi hermano, queso. Que Dios te bendiga, mi hermano. ¿Cómo está? ¿Qué lo que? Hey, yo, and shout out to my dominicano, que le ganamos a Venezuela, y fuera Venezuela, y fuera Venezuela, y fuera Venezuela. Oh yeah, it's going to be Dominican Republic versus Japan. It's going to be Dominican Republic versus Japan. Huh? In the end of the day, that's going to be the final, damn it. But anyway, so I think that's what's hindering the sport of boxing even more. I agree with Mike Tyson. A lot of people don't know these guys' name. You know what I'm saying? I actually like what Keyshawn Davis is doing. He's doing this thing. He's doing his tour. He went to Puerto Rico doing his tour run. You know what I'm saying? Sparring, being with streamers. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's doing his thing. Yeah, at the end of the day, we want to see we want to know who we're going to get back in the ring with. I think it had great momentum for him to get back in the ring versus Richardson Hitchens. Rumor has it that Richardson Hitchens may be signing with Sufa. You know what I'm saying? I think that Sufa is going to be successful. I think so. I seen Clapback Thursday with Oscar De La Hoya. I think that I like Oscar De La Hoya, man. I think he's focusing too much on Dana White, bro. I think you're not going to win that battle. And he's focusing too much. You know, he was shitting on the ring. You know who you shitting on. You know what's your problem. Just say it, Oscar. Say that you had a problem with Turkey. Forget about going to Dana White. Just go ahead. Yeah, yo, you a fighter. Talk who you really mad at. Because you wasn't talking about the Ring magazine and all that shit was shitty when you owned it. Come on, Oscar. I like Oscar. Just be all the way real. Be all the way raw about it. You got a problem with Turkey. You don't got a problem with Dana White. You don't got a problem with the Ring. You sold your ring to Turkey. You sold it. Now you got a problem with the Ring. You sold it. It's not. You got a problem with Turkey. You think that Turkey is affecting your business. That's what it is. Let's not forget that leading up to the Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis fight, Oscar De La Hoya said that belts don't matter like that no more. That these guys are the faces of boxing because he was trying to promote the Gervonta Tank Davis. And I remember I was doing a video and I said that it was embarrassing for Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, and Bernard Hopkins just because they wanted to promote Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis, just because they wanted to promote that fight and blah, blah, blah. They was promoting, these legends was promoting that belts don't matter. Oh, but now that Sufa is bringing out a belt, now the IBF, the WBO, the WBA, and the WBC matters now? No. I'm sorry. See, that's one thing, man. No, don't switch up like that. Because that makes you look more like a bitter baby mama in family court. That makes you look too bitter, Oscar. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You were saying that belts don't matter. Floyd was saying that belts don't matter. Hopkins was saying that belts don't matter. Now, when Turki Al-Sheikh is making his move and Dana White is making his move, oh no, wait a minute. But this is tradition. This is tradition. Everybody wants to be a world champion. It is nothing like being a world champion in the WBC, in the WBA, in the IBF. Oscar De La Hoya, when they stripped Canelo, when the IBF stripped Canelo Alvarez, you wasn't praising the IBF. You wasn't praising. You was shitting on the IBF. Let's not forget about that, folks. When Canelo Alvarez got stripped from the IBF, you was mad at the IBF. You was mad at the IBF. So, in the end of the day, man, let's stop. People are mad at Turki, but they afraid to mention his name. So they take out their frustrations. They take out their frustrations on Dana White. Nah, that ain't your war, my brother. You know who your war is. I think that Suf is gonna do good. I think Oscar De La Hoya has the ingredients to whenever he loses fighters, Oscar De La Hoya finds a way to get another great chess piece. He lost a lot of these fighters to the PBC. He lost Canelo Alvarez. He's about to lose Vergil Ortiz. Ryan Garcia wants to go out. Don't worry. Oscar, you know how to not only find that diamond in the rough, not only having to make that fighter into an elite champion, you know how to build faces of boxing. And let me tell you like this, Oscar De La Hoya, that's one thing that other promoters can't do. They don't know how to build a face of boxing. They know how to build, like Top Rank know how to build a great fighter with great legacy and accomplishments. Top Rank know how to do that. Right? Matchroom, I think Matchroom is good. I think the face of Matchroom is Eddie Hearn. I don't think Eddie, outside of Anthony Joshua, I don't think Eddie Hearn know how to make a fighter bigger than him. Even Oscar De La Hoya knows how to stay how to stay in his lane. He know how to give Canelo Alvarez his space and let him be who he be the man. He know how to give Ryan Garcia. He was about to give Vergil 2 more fights, and Vergil will be 2 more fights and 2 great wins. Vergil could be the face of boxing, and I think that, in my opinion, greed is taking its course. But Oscar know how to create a face of boxing. Eddie Hearn doesn't know how to make somebody bigger than him. You know what I'm saying? He don't know how to make somebody bigger than him. The face of Matchroom Boxing is Eddie Hearn. The face of Golden Boy Promotions was a Canelo. We think about Oscar, but it was Canelo. Ryan Garcia is doing a hell of a job. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I like outside of Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua was already a made guy. Who's the face of Matchroom Boxing? Conor Benn left, and Conor Benn was a product of Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank and the legacy, that family legacy. It wasn't really Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn. Conor Benn didn't get that fight with Chris Eubank. We're still talking about his failed PED test. If it wasn't for that fight, we're still talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Remember, before the Chris Eubank Jr. fight, Conor Benn fought out here in a Hard Rock Cafe. You know, Bam Rodriguez. I think that Bam Rodriguez, the division that he's in, is not going. He can't reach that level of stardom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Bam Rodriguez have to have his Juan Francisco Estrada like Chocolatito had. You know what I'm saying? Chocolatito at one time was pound for pound #1. So I could see Bam Rodriguez being pound for pound #1. But he needs a dancing partner. He needs that rivalry. He needs that. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, I think that Bam Rodriguez, we seen Bam Rodriguez when he's not in leading, like in between, he gains a lot of weight, bro. He look like if he retires, he's gonna be a little fat boy. You know what I'm saying? He's not taller than Inoue, but I think that he should have never moved back down when he moved back up and he was taking care of fighters like Cuadras and Riverside and stuff like that. I think he could have marched and moved up in weight. I think that's what he should be doing. We're going to be having Inoue versus Nakatani. Inoue is already a star. I don't care about what these American boxing fans want to say and shit like that. Like, oh my God, but he hasn't fought over. Look, he need to fight over here. Why the fuck is Inoue need to fight over here when he got 50,000 people in the damn arena out there in Tokyo? He's the man. He's the president over there. Huh? Nah, man. Inoue is so big that the fighter is going over there. Stephen Fulton needed to go over there. Nonito Donaire needed to go over there. If you want Inoue, you gonna go over there. You know what I'm saying? Queso said exactly. Bam could get there if he gets that undercard treatment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. 126 Inoue fight if Bam puts on the weight right and does it right. Believe he will school Inoue. He should. Don't he got snack? He should. Bam Rodriguez got snack. I think he could go out there just like Bud Crawford did with Canelo Alvarez and be healthy and strong. Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying, to the 147, how he got there, knocking down Brian Noma Jr. with the little snackety snack. I think that Bam Rodriguez could do it. I think he got the remedy to do it. When you saw Triple G, I saw Chocotito. Yo, Chocolatito. Chocolatito was the man, yo. Chocolatito was throwing 1,100, 1,200 punches, bro. Chocolatito was throwing 1,000 to 1,100 to 1,200 punches in 12 rounds, bro. And the good thing about Chocolatito was in the pocket. Chocolatito was a master of catching shots with his elbow, bam, wrist, bam, bam, bam. He was throwing 1,100 shots. I miss Chocolatito, bro. And Chocolatito, the nicest guy. Yo, Chocolatito's the nicest guy, bro. Why the nicest guys are the most dangerous guys, yo? The nicest guys, like it's like, think about it. Even Muhammad Ali was not a street cat. Muhammad Ali didn't come from poverty. Muhammad Ali had he was living in a 2-parent household. Both parents worked. You know what I'm saying? But them motherfuckers is dangerous in the ring. Like, they got something to prove. I think in boxing, to be honest, they say it's a poor man's sport, but there's something about these fighters that are not as poor and they still got something to prove. I think those type of fighters still got something to prove, because probably when they was growing up, they was getting bullied like they have it and you don't. Or you got a little light skin, or your mama a little light skin, because you know that Muhammad Ali's mom was she had white in her family and stuff like that. That probably, people felt that he was too good. It's like Devin Haney. Oh, Devin Haney was born with a silver spoon. The way that Regis Progray's strength and conditioning coach was saying, oh, he's born with a silver spoon, so that means that Devin Haney is weak. But that right there is also a confident builder. That right there, trying to chastise somebody for their parent being well off, born with a silver spoon, that makes them still, because those are the people that also get bullied. They got something to prove. They got to get away from the shadow as well. Look at Conor Benn. Conor Benn doesn't fight like he was a little rich kid. Conor Benn fight like he a hungry guy. You know what I'm saying? Chris Eubank Jr. too. Look at Chris Eubank Jr. Remember the first clip? Chris Eubank Jr. was raised in a mansion. But them dudes was fighting like they gonna die. Like, they got something to prove, bro. So when it comes to boxing, all that little silver spoon and you was rich, or you was born an eye, that you ain't come from this and you ain't come from that. Hey, yo, put it this way. When Gervonta Tan Davis was getting licked up by Lamar Roach, he was like, oh my God, my eyes is burning. Calvin, wipe my eyes. My eyes is burning. Shit, Devin Haney was born with a silver spoon though, and he was getting licked up by Ryan Garcia. He was still getting up and trying to fight Ryan Garcia, and he was born with a silver spoon. And Gervonta Tandy was born in the trenches. Shit, when shit hit the fan, shit, oh my God, my hand's burning. Time out, my soul glow like my grease. Charles Edwin Queso con la ofrenda $100. Maricay, la ofrenda para el pastor de boxeo.
He's rich. He is rich. He's rich.
DJ Camelo, I love fucking music. Págame la música. Yo, good looking now. God bless you, Queso. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you, brother. God bless you, Queso. Queso. Damn, I was gonna say something, man, the other day. I was gonna talk about the restaurant, the pizza place you what's the name again? The pizza place that you was talking about? Damn, I had it because I went to some other spot. Diablo, I forgot the name. Like it's on the tip of my tongue right now. Pause. I forgot the name because there's a pizzeria spot that I went to. I didn't get pizza, but I got salmon. I got salmon, but I forgot the man. When it comes back to me, bro. Good looking out. Appreciate you. So, sí, la ofrenda para el pastor de boxeo, mi gente. If you know nothing about UFC, look at what's his name? Tyson Kong. He is beyond rich, but he loves MMA and definitely fights and wrestles like he. Yo, you know who's a fighter too? Putin. Doesn't Putin got like a black belt or something like that? Putin know how to fight. Isn't like a mixed martial artist? The president from Russia. Hey, yo, Putin know how to fight. Russia. He's the real Drago. Hey, yo, he gave Roy Jones Jr. a citizenship. Diablo, man. I want to go to Russia. I want to know what Russia is all about. I want to go to Russia, and I want to go to North Korea. I want to chill with Jin Gong-hoon. I want to be like Dennis Rodman and chill with Jin Gong-hoon. I want to be in the face of danger. I don't know. You know why? Because I think that a lot of shit that the news talk about over here, I think they're trying to like scare us all the time. Because I could see it. Yo, one time I know there was a shootout in my block, right? And the news said a whole different type of story. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, there was one time, put it this way. I can't forget this one. They shot a cop, right? And they put this guy in jail. I forgot his name. They put this guy in jail, and he had a bail for almost 1.5, 2 million, a million, something like that. His bail was like in the millions, right? Oh, he's still in jail. I went to the juice bar. Bro. There was a juice bar in between 107, 109th Street and First Ave. And I'm ordering my juice. And dude that's on the news is right next to me drinking juice. I swear to everything I love. And the news was saying, oh, this guy has a million something, how you say it? Bail. This guy was next to me. And right there, I knew this was like what? Like, this was like 9 years ago. And I said, right there, I knew this new shit is all fake. Now I start thinking like, is big honchos when they say, oh, you remember that dude that was stealing a lot of money? What's his name? That on Wall Street? Remember that guy several years ago Nigga was stealing Wall Street, make billions and stuff like that. He was in jail. You don't put a man like that in jail. You don't put a man like that in jail. Well, he'll be like an incredible informant. You swipe out all his identity and stuff like that, but you don't put somebody smart like that in jail. You know. How in the world do supreme leaders deal with the guilt? You know what? You know what it is, Queso? It's not in their psyche. It's not in their psyche. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people that like it's like a lower scale. Like doctors are trained not to have an emotional attachment with their patient. You understand? So supreme leaders are designed and molded in not thinking about truly the people. That's why it's easy for a president to be like, we're going to go to war. They don't care. What they're saying right now, and I don't know the details because I'm trying very, very hard to stay out of politics. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I get into the politics, every social media I got shuts down. Like I said in the past, if anybody followed Punch Drunk Boxing, before I had Punch Drunk Boxing, I created a website called thetruthhurtsouch.com. And I was talking about the family court system, but then it was more than I was hitting. Then I was writing and talking about more politics, but towards like more conservative side. Like I was leaving the liberal. Like I used to be liberal, then I switched to the green Green Party, and then I say, you know what, I'm going. I like the conservative. The older my kid got, I said, man, I think more conservative people like got more. You know what I'm saying? But yo, I gained 7,000 subscribers on a website. Do you know how hard that is, folks? 7,000 subscribers, man. 7,000 subscribers on a website in very short period. Because I was talking about the family course, so there was a lot of fathers, bro. A lot of fathers that was, it's true. Because I was trying to expose the family course system, right? Because I was going through that shit. So I was trying to expose it. Yo, they shut down my website. I didn't know how to get it back. They terminated 4 Twitter accounts. They made me delete 72 posts from Facebook. 72 posts from Facebook. They terminated 4 Twitter accounts. If you look at my Twitter my X account right now, this is my sixth this is my 6th Twitter account. For me to keep my Facebook, I had to delete and I never cursed on Facebook. Nothing. I'm dead serious. 72 posts. They made me delete 72 posts so I could get my Facebook back. That's why I don't even fuck with Facebook like that. Instagram is attached to Facebook, so I put little things out there, but I'm not really active on Instagram like that. When I started TikTok, I said one thing. When they was talking about transsexual and saying that people should respect trannies and all that stuff. So I did a video with me and my son, and I said my son is now a dog. And people should respect. So me and my son, I did a video, some comedy shit, bro. And they flagged me and they deleted my TikTok. Why one video? Because I say, hey, if this guy could say that he's a woman, then you know what? My son is my son is a dog. And he's gonna go to school like that. And we're gonna go to school. He's gonna do it. When the teacher says, do your homework. I did a video like that. Yo, that was a funny video. And it got so much views in like 2 days or 3 days. I think it did like it did like 11, 12,000, and boom, they flagged me and restricted me and said I cannot post any more videos. And I said, I know, I don't like this shit. So then, you know what I'm saying? When I started taking the Punch Drunk Boxing serious, I said, I'm not going to talk politics because it looked like AI, something like people know what you're talking about. And then there's emotional people that flag you, bro. It's emotional people that flag you. So I'm like, you know what? I just want to talk boxing. F the politics, F none of that. Because every time where I'm getting motion, like, yo, queso, to be honest, I'm not even gonna pop my collar, bro. I think I'm the first Andrew Tate. Best outside of the not the money, you know what I'm saying? Andrew Tate is a fucking millionaire and shit like that. I'm talking about like controversial saying shit like that. This was in 2012, 2010, 2013, bro. When my shit shut down, it was around 2020 when the website was vanished. It was 2015, 2016. And just like, put it this way, just like y'all see me put work in Punch Run Boxing, yo, I put man work, bro. I put so much work on that website, my brother, that it's like almost is a discouraged. Like, I'm like, I can't build this shit back up. I can't. It's like, you know, when somebody just, yo, I was so mad. Like, I was so mad. And that, it kept me, to be honest, bro, Kessel, and everybody in the chat, you know, because people be like, yo, Trump is your god. To be honest, when I like the Cynthia McKenzie from Georgia. She was a Democrat. She switched to the Green Party. When she switched to the Green Party, remember, y'all look at what was it, 2028, 2012. She was running for president. I was going with Cynthia McKenzie. And then I was supporting Jill Stein. When I was getting pushback, because I didn't like the Hillary, right? So when I was getting pushback, and people were saying, "Oh, you just a Trump," oh, blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't even, I respected Trump, but I didn't know how to take him like serious being a president, right? But the more people is trying to tell me, don't do, you can't like this and you can't like that. That's when I started, you telling me what to do, because I'm hard-headed like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with the me voting one way, bro. I haven't seen nothing in my community that's changed. Every time, my whole community, Harlem, Washington Heights, all that shit is always Democrat. Ain't nothing changing over there. Nah. The only time I seen a change in fucking New York City was Rudy Giuliani when he took over becoming a mayor. And when Rudy Giuliani became a mayor, hey, yo, that shit got cleaned up. The worst mayor I ever experienced in my life was David Dinkins. God rest his soul. But yo, when Rudy Giuliani, if you from New York City, when that motherfucker took over, yo, it was like a whole different city, man. There was too many cops. Everything was clean. Everything was, yo. You see, I said, that's what it is, bro. I don't think them liberals really care about us like that. They just get an emotional arouse. They know how to make us vote emotionally. And once you're not emotional, you don't make decisions off emotions anymore. You're clear-headed. And that's why I think the other side, the left side, doesn't like people to be clear-headed. They want us to be emotional. And every narrative is about being emotional. And every pick they wanted to pick is emotional. You know what I'm saying? For a man to be emotional at the same time, man, that's not supposed to be in our trait. That's why you see people, you know what I'm saying, man, everything is racist. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I got to stop by a cop and shit like that. He racist. You know what I'm saying? I'll apply for a job. I ain't get it. They racist. You know what I'm saying? I was going to a store. They ain't hold the door. You know what I'm saying? They would look at me sideways. They ain't hold the door. They racist. They are racist. But anyway. Hey, yo, but look, I'm going to have Keith and Tom Thurman. We was about to schedule for tomorrow, 4 o'clock, but I'm busy. Yo tengo que trabajar, que la gente son pobres, tú sabes. Tengo que trabajar para la familia. So I can't do the interview tomorrow. We was about to schedule it for tomorrow, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, but I'm going back and forth and they say, what about next week? And I say, I'm available next week, any day and time. I need that. I really, truly, that's one of my favorite fighters I've been supporting, and I want to get him on the channel and stuff like that. So Keith Thurman is going to be here next week. I'm trying to get Xander Zayas. The last time Xander Zayas was showing love over here on Punch Run Boxing, bro, was he was 17 years old. Remember, we was chopping it. Me and Xander Zayas been chopping it up. Yo, put it this way. I don't know if you ever check out this interview, because I told y'all, man, I be scouting these fighters for a long time, man. I've been talking about where we at. We've been talking Xander Zayas for a long time, bruh. Xander Zayas look man up there, right? Yo, Xander Zayas is a grown. Xander Zayas look like a heavyweight right now, bro. All cut up and shit. So I said, yo, Xander, yo, bro, you gotta show, you gotta show the channel love, bro. Cause we were showing you man love back in the days, bro. Let's not forget. Yeah, bro. He's 17 here. He's 17 here, bro. He's 17, so I can't. So I'm trying to get Xander Zayas. Let me see if they, because I know his pops is the one that used to schedule interviews. I'm trying to get back to the interview thing, man. Oh shit, Mike Tyson is live right now.
But as an Ennis, this is the first.
Let me see. Hold on. Not yet. Let me see the email. Give me a second. All right. Yeah. For next week, we're going to have Thurman. He's probably training at the moment. Okay, so say it's kind of funny. In reality, it's all the city should be for Republicans and all the middle lands should be. It's true, bro. Yo, okay, so it's true. Facts. It should be like that. Because the city does dictate, yeah, it should be like that, man. It should be like that. It's backward because of race, religion, and money. So yeah, man, it's backwards, bro. It is backwards. Like you could see that everywhere outside of New York is mainly red. You know. Mitchell said, "Hey man, I'll catch the next live. Have a live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Yo, good looking out, Mitchell, man. Thank you for the support, my brother. Thank you for the support, man. Have a great one on that one, man. He beats them all. You got the 154-pound king. Hey, yo. Boots Ennis is saying that. How about Boots Ennis go after Xander Zayas? I want to see Josh Kelly and Xander. Since Boots and Vergil was going at it, don't know when they're going to fight or whatever the situation, I want that unification. Xander Zayas versus Josh Kelly. But it got to be in a neutral ground. You know what I'm saying? Because they both champions. Xander Zayas says to come to Puerto Rico. I think that Xander Zayas should be like, nah, let's make it in New York City anyway. New York City, Puerto Rico Day Parade. I think it's time. He already did it. Puerto Rico, come to New York City, Puerto Rican Day Parade, Madison Square Garden, and do your thing. That's what should happen next, in my opinion. With anybody, it could be Xander Zayas, could be Boots or Vergil. But I want that unification bout. Imagine Xander Zayas at 23 years old, got 3. Let's say if he does beat Josh Kelly, even though I believe it's going to be a tough fight. And let's say he beats Josh Kelly and get 3 belts. And then he gets the winner of Fundora versus Thurman. And let's say Fundora beats Thurman. I got Thurman with an upset, but let's say Fundora because the storyline. Fundora versus Xander Zayas. Mexican, Puerto Rican for undisputed. Come on, man. By the age of 24. So Xander Zayas could fight in Puerto Rican Day Parade versus Josh Kelly. This is what it is. Put it like this, folks. Josh Kelly, Xander Zayas. But let's say Xander Zayas beats Josh Kelly. Let's just say. But I like Josh Kelly. That's my guy as well. But let's just say, right? Xander beats Josh Kelly, Puerto Rican Day Parade, Madison Square Garden. Fundora beats Thurman. And then we get Puerto Rican versus Mexican for undisputed in Mexican Independence Week. in Las Vegas. Wow. Yo, that's why I say the 154-pound division is so beautiful, man. I don't know why people get so uptight because the fight with Vergil and Boots ain't happening. There's so much fights to be made, man. It's so much fights to be made. Again, if y'all catching on with the live, they're going back and forth. Vergil Ortiz and Jerome Boots Ennis. Again, if you just tuning in right now, Boots Ennis tweeted earlier today and said, I did everything in my power to make the fight happen for the fans. I waited long enough and I stayed quiet through it all. Looks like Vergil or his team really didn't want to fight. But I think a lot of people was missing the or. He said, it looks like Vergil or his team really don't want the fight. I came to his fight in his hometown and told him he was next. That was November. It's a match still. It's in March and still nothing. It's time to move on. 2 division champion up next. I told y'all the truth was going to come to light. I don't know what the truth, because again, like I said, and even Turki Al-Sheikh said, you the one that dug Vergil Ortiz. And everybody know you had an offer to fight Vergil Ortiz and you was worried about yourself. You wasn't worried about the fans, Boots. So you can't say you gave the fans the fight that we wanted. You try to give us the fight because we wanted that fight even more than you fighting Stanionis. Let's not forget what Turki Al-Sheikh said on the boxing.
And he doing business. He asked to go to 154 and have tune-up fight first. I am not charity. Go do it with Eddie, the tune-up fight. And if you're ready, you will have in my side a lot of people waiting for you. You understand me?
Okay. So I think everybody needs to take accountability for this fight, because look at what Turki Al-Sheikh said. When you're ready, I'll be here. Well, guess what? Boots is ready. Where is Turki? Before that, everybody was ready, but where was Boots? Now Boots is ready. Turki's not funding it. And Vergil is going through legal issues. This is what Vergil Ortiz had to respond to Boots Ennis. He did everything in his favor to make the fight happen, except, the one and only time we were both offered to fight each other in Saudi Arabia. Y'all can't cap all y'all want. Doesn't change the past. Facts. I just played the clip where Turki Al-Sheikh had an interview with the Boxing Voice, and he the one that actually exposed Jerome Boots Ennis. Richard McGarrian, y'all already know Rick, the manager of Vergil Ortiz, stated, "You serious? You did everything you could. You waited a while. We tried because your alternative is 7 figures left. You turned the fight down twice, and you watch Ortiz sue to try and fight you now again and do everything he could. Really? He spent more than you made last in your fight to try and fight you a 3rd time. Even now, still, you're going to act delusional. You know Ortiz didn't turn the fight down, but we know who did, and so do you. Go grab a scrap or 2 will be that much sweeter after for Ortiz." That's what Rick said. This is also what Vergil Ortiz tweeted on his IG. Vergil Ortiz says, "Everyone knows good and well I'm in a legal battle right now. And everyone with a brain knows, even though we are going through these legal battles, that we still try to make the fight happen. Using the situation as an excuse to say someone doesn't want to fight is not only idiotic, but it's cowardly as fuck. Everyone would see one day when the fight happens. I can't wait to shut every single one of you up." When it comes to Vergil Ortiz and Jerome Boots Ennis, Boots is the one that avoided the fight and the offer. That's it. Now we all know, and I agree with Vergil Ortiz on that one, that, he's going through legal battles. And of course, now that fight can't come through fruition. But also, Vergil Ortiz, you picked the time now. You could have got $3 million guaranteed. And if y'all would have made more than 200,000 pay-per-view, you was going to get 50. It's 50-50 pay-per-view back end money and stuff like that. Full of 50-50, right? But the confidence wasn't the $3 million guaranteed and the more money you would have get off pay-per-view, because it seems like y'all didn't think that y'all could do 200K pay-per-view buys. I think that everybody has to take a little bit of accountability. You know what I'm saying? Some more than others, but everybody's accountable for this fight not to happen. But the one that set it off when everybody was ready, including Matchroom Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn was ready. Turkey was ready. Golden Boy Promotion was ready. Vergil was ready. And Boots was not ready. Now Boots is ready. But who said that Turkey is ready? Vergil can't do it. Matchroom Boxing and Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy Promotion said they could have come with a deal, but Rick didn't like the deal and Vergil didn't like the deal. Now he's suing Oscar De La Hoya. How about if Boots would have taken this fight a long time ago and it was an offer on the table? I don't know. In the end of the day, like I said earlier today, even if Vergil beats Boots or Boots beat Vergil, the man to beat right now, we got to be respectful. There's the hardcore boxing fan. There's the hardcore boxing community. This ain't the casual community. As much as I like Vergil and Boots, and I believe that Vergil probably got a better resume than a lot of these guys, we have to hold the champion high and respectfully. Xander Zayas, Josh Kelly, and Fundora is the man to beat. Because if Fundora does beat Thurman, now he got a Tim Zoo and a Thurman on his resume. Champion. Josh Kelly beat the boogeyman of the division in Bakram, the guy that a lot of people didn't want to see. And Xander Zayas, the youngest one, is the unified champion. If we're gonna start saying that bragging rights if we're gonna say that Boots or Vergil was the best at 154, I could like Vergil and Boots more than all these guys. I like Josh Kelly as well. I'm a fan of Jamel Charlo, but he hasn't been back in the ring, and hopefully he comes back in the ring. But I like all these guys. But respectfully, we gotta give it to the guys that's earning their stripes. We can't say that Vergil and Boots is the best at 154 and then argue and complain when other people want to say that Gervonta Tank Davis is better than Shakur and Devin and Tio, right? Because think about it, by saying that Vergil and Boots are the best at 154 and they don't got no belts and they don't got no strap or anything like that, Vergil still haven't become a world champion. We're sounding like tankies. It's the same argument. We're like tankies. So we can't be hypocrites or contradict ourselves. If you don't like Tank fans saying that Tank is better than all these guys while these guys is daring to be great and getting accomplishments, right? Then you can't come around and say, well, Boots and Vergil are the best, because that fight is bragging rights. Right now, Gervonta Tank Davis got bragging rights fans that just want to brag. No, belts don't matter. Belts don't matter. The belts do matter. The belts do matter. It needs to matter. It needs to matter. Because if it don't matter, then we got to look at all this thing full flesh as a business. We can't look at this as boxing fans no more. And if we look at this as strictly business, then I'm gonna assess who's the best in business. And I'm gonna be like, okay, then Tank is the best in business, and Ryan is the best in business, and you know what I'm saying, Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight because he's the best in business, and Tyson Fury the best in business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna be a who's the best in business. We as a boxing community have to stand firm on something massively. Does belts matter or they don't matter? There's going to be fights out there that, yes, you know what I'm saying, that we want to see. In the end of the day, put it this way. What did Conor Benn earned? I like Conor Benn, but what did he earn? That he beat Chris Eubank Jr.? What did Chris Eubank Jr. ever earn in his career? They just earned a bragging right. Oh, the $15 million from Sufa, but you understand what I'm trying to say. The bragging right. So now they're going backwards, because think about this. Conor Benn beats Chris Eubank Jr. at 160 and says, I want to go back to 147 and get the WBC champion. So they got now these fighters going backwards, almost like Ryan Garcia. Belts don't matter, and now belts matter. I need to get the belt for my pops. I need to get the belt to establish who I am. Because at the end of the day, money comes and goes, career comes and goes, but legacy reigns supreme. So at the end of the day, I want all these people to figure out there's too much fights to be made. It's too many options. It's too many options. There shouldn't be. Man, I just wish that if Turki Al-Sheikh would have invested anything on any situation in boxing, I wish that Turki Al-Sheikh would have established a 154-pound tournament. I am telling you, the 154-pound tournament will revive the sport of boxing like it's never been revived in the last 15 years, bro. At least 10, 15 years. The 154-pound tournament will be the best thing for boxing. All promoters, Sufa, I mean, Sufa don't got the fight, but whatever. Turki Al-Sheikh, I'm telling you, if it's anything that's going to elevate the sport, a strict tournament, everybody got to be on deck. Everybody. And if nobody wants to be in the tournament, strip them. Fuck it, strip them. Throw all that money so all these fighters could say yes. And I'm telling you, and have a schedule. If we have a schedule, right? And if the fighters get cut or concussed or whatever, then you slip in another guy. There's so many guys at 154. It could be an 8-man tournament. Have 3 alternates. If something happens to that, or you bring this one in there, right? I think it'll be great for boxing. Boxing could be back. You know what I'm saying? And if guys from 147 wants to enter the tournament, if Devin Haney, who called out Xander Zayas, so it looks like he's ready to enter the tournament at 154. Ryan Garcia has history with Vergil Ortiz in the amateurs. Ryan Garcia, put it this way. So you got Josh Kelly, Xander Zayas, Fundora, Thurman. Charlo said he's coming back to 154. Earl Spence, Tim Tszyu, Devin Haney. Who else? Boots, Boachuk, Madrimov. Yo, my man. Yo, we could go on and on, bro. Yo, this division is too good, bro. It is too lit, bro. It is too lit. It is too lit. This is what we need right here, man. This is what we need. The tournament. We still got an Erickson Lubin there. Fundora, Thurman, Boots, Jamel Charlo, Vergil Ortiz, Earl Spence, Xander Zayas, Tim Tszyu, Josh Kelly, Bakram. You add the Madrimov for the world. You add the Ryan Garcia that can move up to 154. You add Conor Benn to 154. Come on, you can't tell me. You can't tell me this ain't going to be. This is an incredible tournament. This is an incredible tournament. It will bring boxing. I'm telling you, it will bring boxing back. It will bring boxing in America and have a schedule so people can anticipate, oh, we're going to see this match. Oh, we're going to see this fight this month. And cut the fight. Like, let's say we got Fundora and Thurman this Saturday. The next, you know what I'm saying? I know, but I'm just giving an example. The next Saturday, we have Boots versus Charlo. And we have then Vergil versus Spence. And then we got Xander versus Kelly. And then we have Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it'll be too good, bro. It'll be too good. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna cut this one off. I might not go. If I go live tomorrow, it's gonna be highly late, very, very late, probably 12 p.m., 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. But then we're gonna go live in the weekend and stuff like that. So, you know. Hey, yo, peep this. Victor Ortiz is in bare knuckle. I want to see Victor Ortiz versus Paulie Malignaggi in bare knuckle, man. Which I feel about that as well, man. But yeah, man, I'm gonna lock down these interviews. I'm trying to lock down these interviews. I want everybody to pray, keep your prayers for me, my fams, and love y'all. Thank you for the support today, man. Everybody that contributed to the channel, smash that like, became a member, donated to the channel, man. God bless you, man. Love you. God bless, and on to the next.